We did write down movies with Matt and Mikey here as a thing. So let's you two talk about movies.
Okay.
That's the prompt, is it?
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Look, there's a whole scene for it. It's the Master B scene or Master G scene. We got to use it.
What does this scene have in store for us?
I don't know. I assume you two are just big. Ooh,
Nice.
Ooh.
I actually
damn.
wrote the song for this scene, by the way.
What's the most recent movie that both of you have seen?
Oh, I like that as a prompt. Yeah.
That's
I
a
saw
pretty good one.
Dune. I saw Bond.
I saw Last Night in Soho, I think French Dispatch was my most recent.
Oh, I haven't seen Soho yet. I'm a terrible Edgar Wright fan, but
No, it's great. I hope
I'm
you enjoy
sure
it
it
immensely.
is.
It's very good.
I haven't gone to a theater yet, so.
That's fair. All right, well then let's talk. Let's go with Dune. Dune seems like a good one.
Dune.
All right, so for anybody who doesn't want to be spoiled on Dune, you would probably want to not watch anymore.
Spoilers.
Wait until we're
But
wait
also-
until we're
He's
not
the
on this
perfect
stuff.
boy.
But also it's Dune, so it's been around for a while.
You've had what, 60 years?
Yeah,
to-
exactly.
And
All
there's
right.
like been 3 other series.
and Dune.
Okay, bye.
All right, Matt. What are your Dune thoughts?
My Dune thoughts. I didn't think it was quite as good as everybody else seemed to. It was gorgeous. It was like incredibly beautiful. I really liked the visualization of the world. I felt like the timeline it felt like it didn't feel rushed, but it felt really abbreviated. Like for how long the movie is, it felt like I got a little taste of every plot point in the book, and then the movie ends, or every plot point in the first half of the book, and then the movie ends. The big thing that was missing for me was like I wanted the big like political machinations of the setting of the trap and the trap going off and the various individuals knowing or not knowing the extent to which they were like I wanted more like Game of Thrones at the beginning, right, where like set up the political atmosphere of the universe and then spring the trap and give it a feeling of stakes. And the movie was clearly like more interested in dealing with the relationship between Paul and his mother than that sort of like the political environment of the universe. And so it was really pretty and I enjoyed it and I was compelled. I cannot wait to like watch it again in an even bigger, even louder format. But I was like, solid 7 out of 10. It's not my favorite Villeneuve movie, but like I don't have any like really negative things to say about it either. It was a really impressive work.
Yeah, I don't know how you could succeed any better than they did at making a movie that people want to see that aren't like that haven't memorized the book. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I did watch the 1984 version, the David Lynch version, after watching this movie. And I thought it was interesting how much better and more sense the old movie made after watching the new one. I was like, that's cool, actually. But Dune is as in the weeds as you can get when you're spouting off about Bene Gesserit sisterhoods and like Duncan Idahos, though Jason Momoa should be in every film.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's my new Rock. Like, no more putting the Rock in movies. Boring. Jason Momoa all day.
Have they been together in anything yet?
I don't.
Oh, that's an
Jason
interesting
Momoa?
question.
I don't know.
I feel like The Rock just makes movies with Ryan Reynolds now, and they're all like co-branded with Mint Mobile or whatever.
Yeah.
One day, Aquaman will cross over with Black Adam, and then they will have a chance to bounce off each other.
Can I make a weird request? I want both of them in a movie. I will not go to the theater if it's a superhero movie. at all.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't want Black Adam, and I'm done. I'm done. There's like 19 Spider-Man in the new movie. It's too much.
We've already had the era of superhero movies. Your time for something new to take its place.
A little bit, yeah. I'm a little marveled out, I gotta admit. I really liked Endgame. As much as I kind of had a problem with the Infinity War, I really liked how they landed that. I thought that was incredible that they landed 22 films at the beginning. Like, it was so beautiful, and like after that, I'm just like, this is just more. You keep giving me more, and I don't necessarily want that anymore. I'm old and cranky is my problem, I think.
All right.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. The pandemic was rough on my like overall excitement for more MCU, because it like Endgame came out, and then it had its little like postscript in the form of No Way Home, or not No Way Home, in the form of like Far From Home.
Far From Home, yeah.
Which like was fine, but like, yeah, you're right. It like landed 22 movies, and then we were forced to take 2 years off, and the engine getting moving again in terms of trying to find a hook is not like, it has a much higher threshold that it needs to overcome. Yeah, and it's not gotten there for me yet.
I found the TV shows really tired me out. Like, me and Tara were watching WandaVision, and we were really into it at the beginning because it had a really interesting premise, and then it ended with reset to zero, everything's fine, move on. Move on to Captain America, same thing. Move on to Loki, same thing. And I'm just tired.
I'm increasingly wanting, because they've done so much big crossover stuff, I'm increasingly wanting just like individualized stories again. Right? Like the thing that was like made Iron Man, the first Iron Man, a really excellent movie, was that it was just a small scale story about this one character. And in that case, it was an origin story. I don't think they necessarily need to be doing origin stories at this point, but I just want stories about a character that are like small in scope and not doing world building for other things. And I think that's a real problem that the Disney Plus stuff has been doing, is like, they are trying to do those one-off stories, but they're so consumed with trying to like set the groundwork for whatever the tie-in is that, they don't get to breathe on their own. Loki was really bad for that, right? Like the entire back end of Loki is just like, we're gonna stop even caring about the characters that we've had in the series up to this point, and we're gonna divert into a 20-minute long monologue setting up Multiverse of Madness. Like they just gave up on trying to tell the story they were ostensibly there to tell, and it did, like, it frustrated me so much. I was so hard out on Loki at that point that I'm like, they're having to win me back, and I'm like one of the most engaged MCU fans you can imagine. Like up to this point.
I think of Iron Man as this movie of this guy, this rich guy, but this dude that he gets kidnapped and he has to live in a cave for a while. But like the through line for his character is he just really wants a Whopper. And first of all, the movie does land that, which is incredible. But yeah, I don't know. They don't feel like people anymore as much as they used to, because they don't have like thoughts or feelings or interests. They just say like whatever expository thing they need to and jog on.
I thought Shang-Chi did that well. That in terms of sort of being a separate, like it could have, aside from a couple of scenes, it could have been just a big Chinese martial arts spectacucular. You know, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff that had to be connected up to the greater MCU thing, and I thought they did a good job of sort of coming back to the just kind of teasing it rather than actually being.
You know what it feels like to me, the actual like thing that is bugging me, because like I don't mind too much exposition. I don't mind a lot of that. I mind that seeing a movie now feels like it comes with homework. Like you have to see this and this and this to even
Yeah.
know what's going on. Like movies aren't homework. Don't do this to me. Like there's no test at the end of this. I don't know. I want movies back. So Guardians 3 I am very excited for. Because James Gunn always makes a movie.
Question for the panel here.
Sure.
Do you
Long-time
feel,
listener,
specifically if
first
you want to stay in the MCU universe, do we feel that things should go more Monster of the Week in that they have no stakes but they're a self-contained story? Or that they should say, screw the continuity, every movie is going to land an impact and the others will just have to adjust?
I want stakes for the characters, but not necessarily the universe as a whole, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I very much want there to be stakes. Otherwise, it's like, this doesn't need to be a movie. This is just part of their TV show lineup at this point. But, like, I don't need the stake being Spider-Man. If you don't flip this switch, everything explodes forever. And
The whole
ever.
universe.
I just
I
want,
think-
like, character stakes. They all have supporting characters. Go ahead, James.
I think the way my brain works with the MCU right now is I kind of like that the MCU is doing that. Like I like that it's this big interconnected thing that exists and it does require a little bit of homework. It's I think the problem for me is everybody else trying to emulate it, and the entire industry shifting in that direction.
Dark universe.
Like I like the fact that we have the MCU, but I don't want the MCU in every film there is.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I really like that we have this, but I don't want it everywhere. But the problem is that this has made billions of dollars, so it would be stupid for people not to try it. But please don't. Just stop. Just let us have the MCU. It can be big. It can be connected. It could require a little bit of work from the people who want to put in the time. But that's sort of where I'm at.
I was these episodes aren't out yet, but I want to talk about this because I want to shift to DC for a moment. Do you guys remember the movie Birdman?
Yeah.
With Michael Keaton,
Yes.
where
Yeah.
he plays a guy that used to play this really obvious stand-in for Batman, and he doesn't know how to continue his career.
Right.
That movie makes less sense now because we just rewatched it for this episode we're doing, and like its premise is incorrect now because Batman is in the Flash movie, and like I don't know, it's weird.
Yep.
We live in a weird world.
Yep. Yeah, I'm trying to think about this, and like the stakes in in the MCU have never been for me about the like big universe-ending threat, right? Like it's always been about the character stakes because they're superheroes. You know they're gonna win. The question is not are they gonna win. The question is like what are they gonna have to give up to win, or what are they gonna have to like how are they gonna win, or that kind of thing. And occasionally they'll throw you a little curveball and like, oh, somebody's gonna have to die along the way, or what have you. But it's like it's not the question of like, are they gonna win? That's not the story that's being told.
Spoilers, they win.
It increasingly for me, it's just like I just want good stories, right? Like I just want good stories. I don't care if they're in a universe. I don't care if they're out of a universe. This applies to everything. I want good stories. I want good character-driven stories, and I want them to like serve the universe when it makes sense for the character to serve the universe, rather than serve the universe when it makes sense for like Disney to make sure that they have their contractually obligated 3-minute setup for the next
Right.
Avengers Initiative movie, right? Like that's what I want. I just want good stories, and if they happen to tie in together, or like they should tie in together, but it should feel organic. It shouldn't feel like super manufactured in the way that it does right now. And as the formula has like solidified, and this is what like I really enjoyed Shang-Chi. I thought it's the best of the 3 like Marvel movies that have come out recently. But even it, like the character story ends 20 minutes before the movie ends. Like the emotional stakes of that movie resolve long before the big final CG battle, and then it's like okay, and now we're just coasting through the big CG fight until the movie ends, and like the formula hurt that film.
Yeah.
The big CG battle was totally extraneous, but they had to do it because it's part of the formula, and it's like okay.
I would put forward the big CG battle is also a staple of those kind of, like, not superhero, like those kind of sort of over the top martial arts sort of CG movies too, though. So
Yeah,
like-
I think it's like a structural thing for me where like I would have just liked to have seen them integrate the resolution of the emotional stakes of that film better so that the like the story wasn't over and then we just had to watch them fight a dragon for 10 minutes, right? Like
I think what drives me nuts about movies in general now, and the MCU absolutely caused this, is if when the credits roll and it's like directed by, and people like chastise you for standing up because you're not going to wait through the whole credits. It's having to be like 3 times, and I'm like, no, this Schindler's List. This does not have.
Don't you
an
know that
after
there's a
credit
post-credit
sequence.
scene? Yeah.
Yeah,
Post
please.
credit scene.
I'm
We
done
have a
with
post-credit
post credits. I'm done.
I actually
you
looked
into
it up
watching
now.
the credits.
There's a website, you know, should I think,
Yeah.
what is it? Should I watch the post credits or whatever? And I go, okay.
aftercredits.com.
After,
Yeah.
thank you, Matt. Of course. Yeah, of course you know that one. Yeah.
But along with its like extremely important sister site when2p.com.
Yep.
Oh,
All
I
right.
didn't know that one. That's
You know
interesting.
when you shouldn't pee? You got Nick,
What?
James?
What? No, you can
Yeah.
you can do you can do your
You
bit.
finish that sentence.
All right, fine. You know when you shouldn't pee? Sometime in the next 4 minutes, because you only have 4 minutes left for our donation drive. $6.78
What a
for
pro.
your chance to win Secret Lair staples. These are all staple magic cards featuring some incredibly unique and exciting art that is not typically available these days.
Nice.
So,
You
any
can bring your
donations,
phone,
$6.78.
bring your
No.
phone
Or
into
multiple.
the bathroom with you, and make sure you.
I'm sorry, Chad is like going after me right now because I don't want to stay for credits. I make an entire show about honoring the
donate.
filmmakers, so I don't think that's a problem. Sorry, I'm not having a rough day. Hello.
All right. Well, we got so 3 minutes left in this donation drive. Then we're gonna do a server tour for the Minecraft. So I guess Mikey, in the last couple of minutes here before we switch gears a little bit,
Yeah.
what are some of your favorite movies of this year? Which ones have you
This
really enjoyed?
year,
Yeah, maybe the ones you don't think
I-
people have
I-
seen a lot of.
Promising Young Woman broke my entire brain.
Ooh,
I don't know if anybody saw that. It's a movie that ended, and I just sat there, like blown away by what I had just seen. I don't want to say anything else to like give anything away. That movie is incredible. Bo Burnham's in it out of nowhere. It's awesome.
Cool. I literally don't think I've even heard of this movie now. Now I'm looking it up.
Yeah, I mean, COVID theater stuff was kind of
Yeah.
it's on various streaming sites. It got a lot of buzz a couple months ago, but
Cool.
Gosh,
Awesome.
what else?
Yeah, it was nominated in this year's Oscars, I think. Like
Mikey, are
in the
you
spring.
optimistic for the Netflix sequels to Knives Out? Yeah, because it's Ryan Johnson and his DP going off.
multiple sequels.
I think there's just 2. It's Knives Out 2 and 3, I think, is what Netflix signed.
Yeah.
Knives back in. Knives out again.
Knives out again.
Knives out, knives in, knives sheathed.
Yeah. Do the hokey
That movie
pokey.
was so good.
Yeah.
Knives versus Vash.
Got a follow-up question there, James?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Just
James is just vibing.
vibing.
Yeah,
vibes.
just
Chilling.
vibing.
No, I'm
Not
just
vibing.
Feel that.
literally looking at the Wikipedia page for this movie now. You know, just completely spacing out. It's fine.